Yeah, this is good. And the boomerang could also annoy people in conjunction with the constant bombing. So I don't know if that counts as a zoner, but it definitely also bothered people. Uh-oh. Playing some sort of a mono blue flash, maybe? Or just Simic flash. Crisis and Typhoon are both really good in that matchup, though. Yeah, Simic flash. So I think we're supposed to shock and make a 2-2 shark. Try to ambush the sailor here, or a Brineborn Cutthroat. The newest one sounds kind of awesome. Is that on the Switch? Alright, 4 mana is when the flash deck is very dangerous. Alright, Eliminate's a good one. Let's go ahead and scry. I think we want to eliminate when they're least likely to be able to counter it. So, for example, Mystical Dispute doesn't work right now. Lofty Defiance does. But I don't know that we can actually play around that. So, yeah, let's just go with it. Alright, so here we can make a 4-4 and at the very least draw 2 cards. Try to force through the Casualties of War. I have a feeling that they might have a Nightback Ambusher here. They have Rewind into Nightback Ambusher, there's not much we can do, but maybe this will open up the door for Casualties. Another Shark Typhoon is excellent. There's the Ambusher. Alright. Feels like Casualties is somewhat unlikely to resolve, so we're better off cycling the Shark Typhoon. Don't think we're supposed to shock, because it kind of gives it away, but maybe having a Shark Typhoon that's bigger than the Ambusher is just worth it. I'll try to pressure them in the air. I can make a 4-4 Shark here. Oh, this is okay though, because now we can Casualties of War. So I guess I could have waited till after combat to decide if we were going to shock ourselves with our land. And we still have a giant shark potentially coming down too. How are the kittens?
They're really good, but I think they're
Oh. Good thing we put them back then. Altifex, have you been playing any standard lately? Are you still on the Selesnya stuff? Alright, let's just make an enormous shark. Not going to save mana for anything. Oh, cool. Yeah, the Rakdos lists are really strong. Ooze is a nice draw here. Oh, and they can pay for the Mystic. That is too bad. Can we race them? 12, 5. No, we cannot race them. Are you playing like the Rakdos Sackless? Or just general Rakdos aggro, like Knights? Oh, cool. So like a discard themed Rakdos deck. Seems pretty safe. There's not a ton of Nullhide Feroxes running around. Yeah, and they can pay for this dispute too. Alright, we are officially in trouble. Yeah, well, you gotta include the cat. Jeez. Alright, we're flooding fairly hard here. We'll see one more draw step. Yeah, Cat Oven is a very powerful, if annoying, combo. Oh, 3 Ashiok. Very cool. I like the Lurrus recursion stuff also. Nice. Alright, so you can bounce the Ambusher, bounce a token. There's really not much we can do here. We can go to game 2. Alright, but Duress is so good here. Just knowing what the opponent has is incredibly valuable. Disputes and Negates, I think, are going to be very valuable. Probably Casualties is not good against Flash. And Borrow is good against the Shark tokens. And also just being able to play something on their end step. Ooze is an early threat that grows. Event is good if they resolve an Ambusher and it gets going. I think maybe on the draw we're more likely to want this. Right now I've got to cut some stuff. I think I've got a pretty good hand. I guess Eliminate's not great. It does pick off the Spectral Sailor, but doesn't deal with Ambusher. Aether Gust is probably pretty good as well. There's just only so much that we can take out. Maybe Uro's unnecessary, actually. Something like this. Yeah. Uro's tricky because on one hand it's recursive, so in a long game you get to potentially cast it multiple times. But the first part of it doesn't really do a whole lot. And if you spend your turn trying to bring it back and they just mystical dispute it, it's pretty bad. Alright, we're going to keep here and hope to find a third land at some point. Let's see what the opponent's up to. Dispute, Rewind, and Shark Typhoon along with Frilled Mystic and Nightpack Ambusher. So I could be super greedy and try to pinch them on lands, but I don't think that's good. I think I'm just going to take their dispute because it's such cheap interaction. And then on the turn they have Rewind up, we'll just try to play it so that we have a 1-mana counter to it. We'll try to cycle into a third land here. I feel like this matchup just comes down to who's able to actually stick the Nightpack Ambusher. Alright, we got there. I probably should also trim some Epiphanies because it's just such an expensive counterspell. I'm fine if they want to counter a Growth Spiral here. Alright, well we have double dispute, but no ability to cast both on the same turn. Can actually draw a card though. I'm gonna make a 1/1 shark. Makes sense. Could bounce that, but then I have no good answer to the Ambusher. And I have to be a little bit careful with my life total. If I draw a card here, I'm dropping to 10. I'll also bounce this right now. I don't know if you can hear the kittens meowing next to me. Very cute. Alright. I think I am going to draw a card here. Alright, there's our second blue source. So, we can try to main phase this while they don't have Rewind or Frilled Mystic up. I think it's better to hold off though. Yeah, because we can do this with double Mystical Dispute backup. Definitely hear them. Good. Alright. And I think that's worth countering, actually. Now we only have single Mystical Dispute backup. So are we supposed to resolve this now? Oh, too late. Yeah, I think just end of their turn we go for it, because they can't back up a Frilled Mystic or a Rewind with any counter magic. I'm going to make sure the auto tapper is tapping us correctly. It is. Alright. Now they know we know about those, so they would have to have like 2 other counter spells. Yeah, we're going to try to fight over this. Alright. Bounce spell? Is this Brazen Borrower? Yeah, okay. So close. Alright, but we can resolve it again here. And there's not much they can do about it, and then we can bounce theirs. Yeah, they definitely do. They were just running around, and I think they're not quite ready to go to sleep yet. I can let them run around this room, though. Let me free the cats for a second. Alright, so we have perfect information now. If we attack, they force us to use a spell during their turn by flashing something into block. So let's hold back for now. Now they should do it in response anyway. Alright. Let's counter this. I don't want to counter my activated ability. We want to do all these other things. So send that back, copy that, draw a card. And we are in good shape in this game, thanks to the power of the Sublime Epiphany. So, I actually think we just let this resolve here, because we're going to win this race anyway, and I'd rather get the 2 tokens. Alright. So, interesting games. No. So the trigger goes on the stack. Yeah, but it checks on resolution if we've cast a spell this turn. So even though the trigger's on the stack, if we cast a spell, there's an if in there, so you don't get the token. There's like a fancy magic term for that. It's called like an interrupting if or something. That is how those triggers work. Alright, based on what we saw, I think we still have a pretty good plan. I could cut a Sublime Epiphany because it's expensive. And maybe bring back in either an Extinction Event or an Aether Gust. Maybe Extinction Event's a good way if we get way behind to catch up. Intervening if, that's what it's called. Alright, this is a good keep. Got some counter magic and a duress. Alright, and the opponent also pretty unlucky start there. We're going to shock ourselves because I want to Growth Spiral next turn. Alright, and so what do we take here? I feel like Growth Spiral doesn't do a ton for them because they're so short on cards. And if we take their Mystical Dispute, then they can't counter ours. We can also just wait and fight over their Mystical Dispute. Yeah, I just don't even want to give them the cards. We'll keep them way behind on lands. Alright, so we can play Scavenging Ooze here to play around Mystical Dispute. Alright, let's attack in. And I'm going to shock again, because I want to make sure that we have everything up. Alright, so we can dispute this, and then we still have Aether Gust plus Growth Spiral. And then next turn we can even eat the Brazen Borrower. Alright, so they would be able to dispute our Growth Spiral. I'm wondering if we can play in such a way that they never get value out of Mystical Dispute. So instead, let's go ahead and eat the Brazen Borrower. And we'll just keep clearing their yard in case they have an Uro or something. Alright, and we got our own Night Pack Ambusher, as well as some other ways to slow them down. Okay, so we can bait out the Mystical Dispute with Growth Spiral here to help us resolve our Ambusher. They didn't go for the bait. I don't think we want to make a 1/1 shark, so we'll just play that out tapped. Yeah, we'll just keep the pressure on. Alright, so this is our chance to resolve our Ambusher. We have Aether Gust to stop theirs. Alright, through the first round.